So today we're taking over the Marlins because they are off to a terrible start this year. And I will give them some sympathy. They're missing about half their MLB pitching staff because of injury, which is crazy. Yuri Perez and Alcantara are out with an elbow injury. They had Tommy John surgery, or Yuri Perez is about to have Tommy John surgery. Braxton Garrett and Cabrera, I believe, are both out with shoulder problems. And then I know there's a couple relievers out. I know one of them can't get into the United States because he doesn't have a visa. They're missing a lot of pitching. But at the same time, they just made the postseason and they did absolutely nothing this offseason to improve this team. There's a couple like minor league slash fringe moves, minor league contracts, things like that. And then at the same time, there were a couple trades, but like nothing really to improve this team. So yes, the pitching is definitely a big issue, and I can see why they are struggling so much this year. But at the same time, they really haven't done anything to like kind of help that. No depth, no major leaguers, no better offense, nothing. And I can see why this team is struggling. So it's time to take the Marlins back to the early 2000s, their glory days, and let's go win them a World Series. All right. So I've mentioned the injuries, and I'm going to show you how to do manual injuries because some of you were asking about that. So under the general tab, you'll hit L2 or R2, whichever you prefer, left trigger, right trigger, whichever console you're on. And you're going to go to the rules portion, and then you're going to have injuries on manual. So then after you back out, what you'll do is you go to the MLB tab, you go to injured list, and I'll take one of these guys off the injured list. Let me just take off Yuri Perez. But basically what you do is you have this manage injury section. You'll click on the player, and then you'll select whichever injury you want. So basically, I'm going to go to the elbow surgery because that's basically what he just had. And now I have him injured. I'm going to hit R1. It's going to take me to the injured players section. I'm going to click his name, and then I'm going to move him to the 60-day injured list. So as you could see, I've got Perez, Alcantara, Garrett, and Cabrera all currently out. I think these two, I know they're starting to hit their rehab assignments, or starting to come back to pitching again. So I think I'm gonna leave them out for the 2 months that I currently have them out. These two are out for the season, right? And then Brazoban, I just threw him on because he's currently not in the United States, but I can't put him on a restricted list. There's no restricted list in MLB. I think there's also like JT Chargois out and a couple other relievers, but I can only do 5 injuries at a time. So that's what we currently have. It's not a realistic rebuild, but my thing is with this Marlins, I know that these pitchers, these 4 I can rely on, right? Like I know these 2 will come back next year, we'll be fine. These 2 will come in, 2 months into the season and they'll be good. I kind of want to see what these other players have, right? I feel like we kind of need to see what's going on. So like I can trust Luzardo. Puck, I'm probably gonna move back to the bullpen because in real life the guy's battled major injury problems with his arm. I don't know why the Marlins are like, yeah, let's make him pitch more. That makes no sense to me. I'm thinking once all of our pitchers come back healthy, we move them back to the bullpen. And I think this is kind of what the Marlins have been running bullpen-wise besides Chargois, and there's no Chirinos. The other arm, I can't remember who the other arm they have in the bullpen, but this is what we're going to rock with to start the year. And then lineup-wise, this is currently what we have going on as well. We'll see how it goes. Prospect-wise, it's mostly pitchers, right? You've got Noblemeyer, you've got Thomas White, you've got Max Meyer, who's now come back from injuries. They're giving him some time in the majors. So you've got those 3 that are like kind of the main guys. And then I think position-wise, it's Jacob Berry. I think there's a couple others. I know Victor Mesa Jr. I think is somewhere on the list as well, and there's a couple others, but like there really aren't too many offensive pieces for the Marlins in the farm system. So I think that's going to be my focus in the draft. Obviously, I need to see how scouting plays out. Am I going to get some really good pitchers, or am I going to get some really good position players? So let's go get to the draft. I'm just going to rattle off the names that I'm interested in. We have the 16th pick, I believe. We have the 16th pick. I really want this guy. I don't think he's going to fall to us, but I really want this one. And I know I said I didn't need pitching, but I think this is like one of the best players in the draft. There's also Clifford Castro, who looks good, but again, like if I can't get him, I think I'm actually going to go with a position player. And these guys actually do look good. Like Rick Rudolph, I actually wouldn't mind either. I actually think he's my number 2. And then we have McMahon, who is kind of in the mix. The reason I'm not really interested in Castro is the control's low and the hits per 9 are low. and that's kind of my thing there. So I think McMahon is also someone that I'm a little interested over Castro. And then we have some position players in Reggie Moody, who MLB has him at 78. We have him at 65. I really like the looks of this player. We've got Rocky Weeks, who we discovered. I don't know where the potential is going to end up. He looks more like a glove first guy. So I don't know if I'm going to end up taking him, but he's another position player to look forward to. We've got Fernando Robles, who we have at 28. Same thing as what MLB does. Again, he looks good, probably potential somewhere in the 80s. So we'll see if we can get him at 28. Probably not going to be our first round pick. But then we have a 52 ranked player in Manuel Miranda. Yeah, but he looks good. He looks super well rounded. He's got speed. He's got decent hitting stats, just no power. But at 5'7", 187, kind of understandable. And there's also Jarrett Bermudez, who we have him at 67 rank wise. Very similar player to Miranda. Very similar, just not as good with the glove. And then there's, I think, one more position player. Ooh, do I have another position player? I don't. It's basically those. So I think the outfielders or the second baseman, like these guys right here, Moody, Robles, Miranda, Bermudez. I don't think I'm going to be able to get Robles just because he's ranked 28th. But I think Moody, Miranda, or Bermudez are going to be second round picks. I don't think we're going to be able to get Robles. I just don't. Based on where our picks are at 55 and 69, I don't think I'm going to be able to get Robles. So there's that. Let's just see how it plays out. I'm interested. Who knows? It could go really, really well for us. Lance Marin. I did not, or Marine. I guess it could be Marine, but I did not scout him. So we'll see. He could end up being really good. David Trainer. Yeah, I knew I wasn't going to get that guy. And the third one, long hair. Who is this? Gaucho. Okay, Rockies. All right, I'm just going to skip to our pick. Let's see what's going on here. Yoshida, there's Pryor. Okay. Yep. Dang it, the Cardinals took the one that I wanted. And then looking at the rest, let's see. I think we're looking pretty good. So if I'm looking at pitchers, I think it's Rudolph or McMahon. And I think I can get one of these position players, probably not Robles, but Miranda, Bermudez, or Moody in the second round. So I think we just take one of the better players available. And looking at it, they look very similar. But I think Rudolph's a little bit well-rounded, like a little bit more well-rounded. They look so similar though. Ugh. All right, we're going to go Rick Rudolph. I did end up finding another pitcher that I kind of liked when I was looking through the prospects, but I'm going to go Rick Rudolph for our first pick. Let's get to our second pick. Let's see who's still on the board. Okay, so we could go Moody, Weeks, Bermudez, Frazier, or Radatz. Okay, I think Radatz is a later pick because it's not rated by MLB. We have him at 74. I'm not in love with the per nines. His overall is going to be super low. I think he's definitely a late pick. Frazier. MLB has him at 106. We have him at 6. I feel like we could also get him a little bit later. I feel like it's got to be like maybe Moody or Bermudez if we want a position player. So which one? Ooh. When's our next pick? Isn't it kind of close? 69. Ooh, this is going to be close. I think we take Moody just because he's a little bit higher on the MLB board first. And that also gives us another infielder just in case we need one. So I think I'm going to go Reggie Moody for this one. So there's Reggie Moody, second pick. And then we're going to go to our next pick. Oh, all of our guys are still there. Okay, so I'm going to take Bermudez right off the rip. And we should be good there. Next pick, I'm getting real lucky here. I'm getting really lucky here. Do I go Weeks? It's just like, I don't think the hitting stats are really going to live up to it. I feel like if he's ranked 6th, we got to take him, right? I feel like that's the move. So let's take Frazier. He's the next one on the board. I know we're taking, I guess we're what, 2 and 2 for position players and pitchers. Next pick, I mean, let's just go with it. We're going with it. Radatz was just someone I threw on there just because we didn't have him ranked. I mean, I could also take Huerta later on in the draft. It's just the potential is not there for some of the other guys that I scouted. Like, you can kind of see I've only got 3 players left scouted anyways. So that's kind of why I had him on the board, just because he wasn't ranked. We had him at 74. Let's just throw him on the board as a later round pick anyway. So he's still there. We'll take him. I mean, he's going to be really low rated. So I don't really know what to do. And then I think I'm just going to take whoever. I'll just take number 1 here. We'll just go Jack Gibson and we'll go with another pitcher. So slightly pitcher heavy, but we did get 2 position players, which I'm pretty happy about. I don't really know if I'm going to make any trades here because I feel like let's keep him on the 60-day and we'll sign the picks. I guess I should see whose contract's expiring. We've got 1 more year of arbitration with him. Josh Bell is someone we should trade. Wow, he is stinking it up. Anybody else? Tanner Scott. Ooh, we should definitely trade him. At the deadline, we're going to go to the Orioles for Heston Kjerstad, a player that's kind of blocked, and the Orioles farm system's like tearing apart AAA right now. It's crazy. I think they put up 28 runs on a team the other night. Heston Kjerstad had like 10 RBIs. So we're gonna rock with him. He's having an okay year in AAA. I don't know about the attributes. He might sit the rest of the season in AAA just to finish the year. Josh Bell and Brock Bradenberg get me Heston Kjerstad. I also do need to trade. Where's our closer? Tanner Scott. I think I just want another position player. I'm kind of thinking maybe like a shortstop, but I don't really know if I'm gonna be able to get one. And I don't know the quality that I'm going to be able to get if I trade my closer. I really shouldn't be able to get a good one, but we'll see. I'm kind of looking to see who's out there and who's available. Like, I can't do that. But also budget's a problem for the Mets. Of course it is. What about like Matt Shaw? I'm actually pretty close to getting Matt Shaw, which is kind of crazy. Also, TheAntOrtiz. Okay, so he's got a couple stats in the 50s. He's got all of his stats in the 50s. Oh man, that should not be able to happen. Huh, what else could I do here? Let's see, where are... that doesn't look great. I don't like that either. I don't really want to trade for a catching prospect. I'm gonna look around. I don't really know where to go from here. I really wasn't... Yeah, I don't know. All right, between 2 right now, in Kirilloff and Prado. They're about the same age. Prado's a little bit worse. Also, the vision looks terrible. I might go with Kirilloff. He probably won't get too like crazy in terms of overall, but he looks solid. And I'm not looking for anything too crazy right now. We have to give up a little bit more. I don't think Tanner Scott's having the best of seasons. He's actually having a really good year. I don't know. I do need a first baseman. I feel like it's not a crazy return. It's not the best return. I know it's not. I probably could get way better, but I'm gonna take this. I think this could be a guy that we can rely on for a little bit. I really need offense too. That's the thing. I need offense like really badly. Ooh, I might be able to get a reliever out of this, which is cool. I think that's a trade I can do. All right, it's nothing crazy. That's gonna be the only 2 trades we make, but I think they're worth it. Lied. I'm picking up Davy Garcia. Sounds crazy. I know it does sound crazy. He's 59 overall. Just we got to get rid of this contract. This contract for Avisail Garcia is disgusting. Now we're good. I think that's it now. And then I'm going to pick up Roansy Contreras. And the reason I'm doing this is because Nardi's got deep potential. I don't think he's going to hold his rating too much longer. He's having a good season. Contreras is 66 overall. He's got deep potential, though. He's going up. And his AAA numbers are pretty good. So I know we're trading away some better, higher rated players for some lower rated players. But I think in the long run, it's going to pan out. Really, the only thing that changed was the bullpen with Alcala, Garcia, and Contreras. And then, of course, the Kirilloff addition. Outside of that, we're going to have Kjerstad drop down to AAA. And he should be fine there. I just got to make sure he stays in the lineup. And he'll play center. It's fine. It's not a big deal. But this is the team. And now I got to see where our picks end up looking like. Or where our picks end up looking like. How our picks end up looking like. Hopefully, it's not bad. David Bednar goes to the Blue Jays. Interesting. All right, today is the deadline. As you can see, everybody's signed. We're good to go. Let's see. How did we do? Did we get it right? Yeah, we got it right. A lot of blue. That's what I want to see. So Rick Rudolph, I don't like the walks being low, but everything else looks good. Decent control, stamina, all that good stuff. B potential, but 88. I'll take it. B potential for Moody once again. No power at all. No fielding ability. But he's got some speed. 6'3", 198. I mean, what do we do with that? He's got an arm, kind of. I guess we just leave him at second. Switch hitter. All right. 99 potential for Bermudez. What? Speed, decent reaction. I don't know if I can keep him in center, but the bat looks nice. This guy had what, 94? Okay. What's up next? 80 for Rocky Weeks. Ugh. He's just going to be the guy that we sub in when we need a good defensive person at shortstop. That's really what it's going to come down to. B potential for Radats, but he's 48 overall. 51 overall with B potential for Gibson. So they're going to be 2 long projects. I don't really know who else we could look at to see who we missed out on. Presley, 90 potential. Castro, we talked about him briefly. The hits per 9 was what worried me. 89 potential there. Okay, Royals, two decent picks. Rivas, a closer, and then Miranda, who we talked about, he went to the Tigers, 93 potential. Okay, so we missed out on him. But looking at it, I didn't scout that guy at all. But looking at it, Almanza, we did talk about him. 87 potential. He looks super well-rounded. I kind of like him better than Rudolph. Okay, any other... McMahon, 87 potential, looks nice. He's got that typical, like, he's going to be a solid pitcher build. Good walks per 9, hits per 9. That's he's just going to be solid. Let's see. Anybody else that, like, kind of stands out? I don't really see anybody that I'm like, man, this was the pitcher I wanted. Dang, he looks nice. He looks real good. Raleigh's 59 over, but yeah, this guy looks really good. 94 potential too. That's a tough miss. But overall, I'm super happy with our picks. I mean, come on. One pick that doesn't have blue potential? That's insane. Alrighty, 62 wins. Not ideal. We're gonna fly through this because we were bad. We were 27th for batting average. Runs, we were 27th as well. Pitching is gonna be a little skewed because obviously players are gonna get called up and sent down. But 27th, we were clearly the 27th best team in baseball. Standings wise, were we the worst though? We were in the National League, it looks like, so there's that. What about the American League? We were not. The White Sox were, and the Athletics were a little bit worse than us. So 27th was pretty close. It was pretty close on the board. So awards, Acuna, all right, 52 home runs. That's crazy. 27 stolen bases. Crazy season though. Jordan with 45 home runs. Corbin Burns beating out Chase Silseth. What? For the Cy Young. Spencer Strider wins it in traditional fashion. It's always Strider or Ohtani. Always. Edward Julian and Acuna batting title winners. Evan Phillips and Duran are the relievers of the year. And then Colt Keith won Rookie of the Year along with Yamamoto. Okay. All right. What are we going to be? Okay, David Smeltzer. Only 37 innings pitched. But still... not bad. I mean, do I want to rely on him long term? No, but he could be okay for a season or two. We'll see. Six still wasn't great. Like that's a tough look. JT Chark was pretty good, but again, I don't know how well he's gonna hold his rating. So there's that. Roansy Contreras was really good over 33 innings. I like that a lot. Alcala was also good. I don't know how much more he'll grow, but that's a pretty good growth. +3. I like it. Only 11 innings pitched. Brazoban only 4 innings pitched. Got roughed up a little bit. Bender was good. I like that. And then back to Smeltzer. I don't really know who else. Soriano, I mean, he's like, what, 55 overall? I'm trying to see it. Maybe Hoeing pitched a little bit. Honestly, wasn't bad. Crazy at 60 overall. Chirinos, how was he? Yeah, he was bad. We're not rocking with that again. Weathers, I'm assuming, got rocked a little bit over 37 innings. Jeez, he got 9 home runs. Good Lord. Meyer, 9 starts, got hit pretty hard. I mean, he's 67 overall. I don't really know what to do with him because his per 9s are so low rated. Davey Garcia got roughed up a little bit over 18 innings, but again, he's 60 overall. So I think he's one of those, like, let's leave him in the minor leagues for maybe another season, let him develop. And then, of course, we've got our 2 prospects to worry about down in Double-A. I didn't even look at the major league starters. Luzardo, I need you to be better. Just flat out need to be better. Puck, I'm gonna make a reliever or a closer, so his overall is gonna drop a little bit, but it just suits him better. Braxton Garrett was honestly not bad. I like those numbers a lot. Cabrera struggled a little bit, and then Trevor Rogers also struggled, but he's also gonna be moving to the bullpen. So realistically, our bullpen's probably gonna look something like this, but probably not Brazoban. I'll probably try to bring in someone better. Honestly, it's probably going to be Contreras. So then Brazoban is out. and I need 2 starters, which is going to be Alcantara and Yuri Perez. We're back in business. We're back in business. All right. Offensively, though, I don't even know what to expect here. I mean, I don't care about. Fortes is the guy that's only going to hit lefties. That's his whole role. If he does well, great. I mean, he's our backup catcher. Rise. About to hit contract year. I need him to be like our best contact hitter, our leadoff guy. So far, it's an okay stat line. I need a little better though. Jazz, good lord, that's bad. I need way better. Burger, as long as like the OPS is close to 800 and he's hitting 30 plus home runs, I'll look past every other number out there. But it's got to be 30 or more. I gotta have it. Kirilloff really struggled. Okay. De La Cruz, oh man, I guess the offense just sucked. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this. This is atrocious. How were we 27th? We should have been 30th. Honestly, it's looking like a AAA team could have beat us with this offense. I'm not even gonna. Let's just get to the offseason. At the Cubs, the Astros defeat the Cubs. Huh. Okay. Either way, we're in the offseason. I don't really know what to do. I really don't. Though all 3 of those guys can go. I don't need them on the team. Next portion. All right, if we're talking about the team now, I wouldn't mind giving him a shot in the outfield, right? Or what we could do, yeah, I guess we put him in left, or we flip these 2, we'll put him in right. So I need a shortstop and potentially an upgrade at catcher. Shortstop, catcher, and that's really about it. Shortstop and catcher, and then pitching. Our 2 pitchers will come back, and then maybe a bullpen arm, like just maybe one that I'm like, dang, that guy's really good. So like Alcantara goes here. Where's Yuri Perez? Is he not healthy yet? All right, okay, I guess I can't. Oh, he's in AAA. Let's call him back up. Easy fix. So now this makes a lot more sense. I think, yeah, maybe one more like pitcher where I'm like, yes, I can rely on him. One more bullpen arm. Starters are good. Catcher, shortstop. Maybe an extra bat. We'll see. I don't think there's going to be any good catchers or shortstops. So, yeah, I don't really want to spend big on any of these guys. So I'm probably just looking for like maybe Gary for a season. You know, maybe Mejia for a season. Something like that. Someone that can just come in. Maybe Diaz for a season. Just to hit righties, Fortes versus lefties. And then at shortstop, this as a guy, I don't know. We don't really have we still don't have like that middle infielder to come up and really help us out, because Moody's definitely a second baseman, right? We don't, and Barry's going to be third. We don't really have that shortstop, because this guy, no, that guy's not the answer. So I don't really know what to target. It's going to be an interesting offseason. Let's talk about the team. I made some changes. I signed a couple players to fill out the roster. I guess I could point those out really quickly. So you got like Talkman. We've got MJ Melendez, who isn't a catcher. I know, I just have him here in AAA. We got Chaparro, we've got Rivas, Susak, Rice. We've got a couple others. Like you'll see the names, but yeah, we had to fill out the roster a little bit, and this is now what the team looks like. It's not a huge improvement. There are some new names, you know, like Grichuk's gonna face lefties, 1-year deal, $6 million. I'm fine with that. Ahmed Rosario, 2-year deal with the team option for just under $4 million per season. He wasn't great last year. I'm really just looking for him to come off the bench, help us out. We got Fortes still, Nick Gordon, and then Dahlbeck to face lefties, just because Kirilloff doesn't really hit lefties that well. So that's kind of our bench. And then Adames came in. 1-year deal for $10 million. He could end up being really, really good. If that's the case, we'll just trade him. I really need a shortstop for the future. We don't have one. Maybe we get one in the draft, but he was like the best available option besides like Garrett Hampson and Paul DeYoung. So yeah, that's kind of what I was stuck with. And then Diaz, like I mentioned, comes in, faces righties, Fortes faces lefties. That's my solution for the team. Pitching wise, we saw the rotation. We also brought in Johnny Lasagna. He came in, super cheap deal, $3 million. And that was it. Like I said, I moved Puck down to a closer. So we have that. And then I signed a couple like just other arms to fill out the team. But for the most part, it's looking pretty good. You're probably wondering, where's Contreras? Where's Davey Garcia? They're on waivers. So once they clear waivers, they get sent down to AAA to fill out that roster a little bit more too. One question mark this season, what is Luis Arraez going to do? Because long term, I would like him to be our leadoff guy and second baseman. But at the same time, we did draft that middle infielder, right? We have Reggie Moody, who kind of has a Luis Arraez hitting build. switch hitter, younger. The fielding isn't great, but he does have better speed. So it's one of those things where, do we trade Arraez at the deadline because his contract's coming up, and then we just let Moody be the long-term successor, or do we go in a different direction? Because like this that's basically Moody. I even think Moody has better discipline. Yeah, way better discipline. So like this, it might just be best to trade Arraez while we have some stock in him, and then just let, you know, like Ahmed Rosario, Xavier Edwards, or who else do we have? Vidal Brujan. They could, you know, we've got, or Nick Gordon. They could play second base until that guy's ready. So there's some questions to be answered. Let's see how this season plays out. All right. We have a discovery. This gentleman right here, Ramon Gonzalez, two-way player, third-ranked player on the board. I am conflicted because there are some really good players in this draft. This guy looks unbelievable, right? Then we've got Ahmad Jefferson. Looks good. Not a lot of power though. So I'm like, you know, maybe we could pass on him. Some good pitchers for sure. There's also a couple good position players. You know, there's this third baseman here who looks like he's gonna be a little bit more power oriented, but he doesn't look bad. I don't know. I feel like I kind of wanted to take a position player, but at the same time, that two-way player is like something we've all been looking for so long that I feel like we got to take him. We got to take him. Hitting stats don't look great at all, which is a little bit of an issue, but he does look very, very good. I just think that this guy is this is a really good pitcher. This is a really good pitcher right here. I already know it is. I feel like I gotta take the two-way player, right? I feel like that's the move. I feel like we kind of have to. I'm trying to see. There was so many position players that I scouted. Did they really fall back this far? Let's see. Like right fielder, he fell to 58th. Okay. Center fielder, I didn't really scout any outfielders because I felt like we kind of covered that board. This guy dropped to 45th. We're only 50% there. Okay. I guess we could just hold on. Where's my scouted? There we go. I was gonna say I scouted a few of these. Calderon fell all the way to 30. Oh wow. Okay. First baseman. These guys are definitely on my board for later round picks for sure. And then I had this catcher who dropped to 47. So I guess a lot of the position players kind of fell. So I guess that makes my decision a little easier. Do I go for the crazy good prospect in Rafael Uribe or the two-way player? I mean, I think we know. And honestly, Uribe might fall to us. This guy won't in the second round. So I feel like we'll throw these two on the board. Let's see who we get at number 4. If both of them are taken before our pick at number 4, I'm going to be so angry. I'm going to be so angry. You can take your Uribe. Just don't take Gonzalez from me, please. Ahmad Jefferson is number 1 overall to the White Sox anyways. Okay, so he's off the board. I don't have to worry about him. He was the highest rated position player. Next up, it is... Okay, so another position player. Okay, so 2 position players off the board. So I can get one of my pitchers. Who is it going to be? I could get both the pitchers. Oh, okay, so they went full position player first. I gotta take the two-way player. I have to. It has to be done. I hope he's good. And then we'll go to our next pick. Our pitcher was taken. Let's see if we can find where he was taken. Was he taken like immediately? He was like what, number 3 on the board? He fell to 17 to the Rays. I mean, that's a good pick for the Rays. Okay, so from here on out, I'm just gonna see oh man, that guy looks bad. Okay, I'm gonna pass on him. Do I take I'll take a reliever. Why not? Just a Sawyer Noseworthy. That's a crazy name. Oh wait, what about one of our positions? What are we at? 35? All right, I'm gonna throw these guys on the board. They're a little bit later, but they're on the board for me. And I think I'm gonna go with, I mean, both these guys look pretty good, but I might go with the one we have scouted a little bit more in Floyd over McCollum. I'll take the one we have a little bit scouted more because we have the potential locked up. I know what he's like. We're gonna go Floyd in the second round. A little bit of a reach, but we should be okay. And this allows me to take one of our bats here, which I think I'm going to take the one that's got slightly better hitting stats, even though his potential is not as good. And we're at 41 though. Hold on, we're at 41. Our next one's 77. So this guy might actually not make it that far. And I do want to have some positional depth for some prospects. So I'm gonna go to the next pick. We're at 77. This guy's ranked at 90th. Our next pick is 107. So he is gonna be super low rated. So I don't feel like that's something that I really need right now. So I think I'm just gonna start taking players that we've got scouted and look decent. It's just the issue is now everyone's overall is gonna be so low. I guess we just take the best ones on the board. But man, these guys look bad. But I feel like we got the two-way player. I feel like we've done well enough anyways. So I'm just gonna start just taking pictures. We'll just take who we have scouted of all the positions. I've got this guy. I don't think he's gonna be good though. That's the worry. The center fielder, I have a feeling he's gonna be very bad. But why not? Let's take him as I rip out my headphones, and then we'll just sim to the next pick. And this guy's available, and so is this guy. But this guy's injured, which is a little worrisome. So I think we take Fletcher. Strikeouts, home runs per whatever. Sure, why not? I'm feeling pretty good about the draft. Feeling pretty good. I hope my feeling's good though. But let's hope it's not a bad feeling, right? Like, we messed up. So I'm gonna go through this. We'll get to the deadline, see what pickups we can make, and then we'll see how our draft turned out. All right, we're approaching the deadline. I just want a reliever that can just. Oh wait, no, I don't want a reliever. I want a starter because these two are really struggling, and I'm looking at the names down here. They're not really doing well, and these two guys, I'm still keeping my eye on them. They're developing. I'm looking at these relievers. We're looking good. Relievers act like actual relievers look good. I do just want that extra starter just to be safe. So let me double check. I was looking at relievers, and now I'm trying to see like expiring contracts for pitchers. Merrill Kelly can't be. I don't want Merrill Kelly. I don't. Kikuchi? We know Kikuchi's kind of glitchy, and to be honest, to fill out the rotation for one year or half a season, I feel like that's not a bad pickup at all. Soroka back on the Braves. I like that. Where is Kikuchi? I know he's kind of my go-to. He's not having a bad season right now, but he shouldn't be too expensive. And I think I'm just gonna give them. Who could I give them? Am I gonna use him? No, I'm not. We'll give him there, and maybe Michael Talkman because I'm not using him either. And then you can also have M.D. Johnson. So I'm not really giving up much, and I need that extra pitcher. Cabrera can go down to AAA for now. He can work on a couple things. We'll throw him in the rotation. Should be good to go. And Kikuchi slots in right there. So hopefully that solidifies things. We're like 4 games out of the wild card, I think. Let's see here. 3. So we're in the mix. Again, kind of a season ahead of plan. I was kind of hoping for season 3 would be the actual playoff push. We're not really in the race for the East, but overall, not too bad. One thing I need to talk about is I extended Arias' contract for 3 years with an option on that 3rd year. Brings up to 30 years old. I felt like he's having a good season. It gives some time for Moody to develop as well, even though he's absolutely tearing it up right now in AA and needs to be called up for sure. But he's definitely got to keep an eye on. Barry, I need those hitting stats to go up just a little bit more. He's close to being on the call up. What's Weeks looking like? 263 is honestly not too bad. The OPS is a little low. Bermudez is looking good. He's a guy I'm keeping my eye on. Victor Mesa Jr. is doing well. We've got Melendez is doing pretty well in AAA too. So he could be someone that helps us out off the bench potentially in the future. You know, maybe he replaces Grichuk or like Gordon or something like that. But for the most part, the team's looking good. I still am on the fence about Adames. Do I just extend it for another season? I think that might be what I do. I'm trying to think of who becomes a free agent this year and for shortstops. I think it's Bichette. I think Jeremy Pena is as well. Those are 2 big names to get at shortstop, and we don't have one. So there's that. Also this. Maybe what I do here is maybe Melendez comes up, takes over. Let's see. What's Melendez? attributes looking like? It doesn't look too much different than Kierstead. I think I'm gonna let Kierstead finish out the year. Draft pick wise, I gotta sign this guy. I've got a couple more days to do it. So let's move forward. We'll let them fix that. We'll sign this guy, and that's really about it. I don't think I wanted to like blow up the team too much again, because I kind of like what I'm looking at. I mean, the team is doing really well. It's just I gotta figure out what I want to do at shortstop. So I think that's it. I really do. I mean, I feel like we did pretty well, unless I get offered a crazy trade here. Frank Manzacado is a good prospect, but not for my guy who's only blown 3 saves this year. I need him this season. I'm just gonna move forward. How did we do? Please don't let me down. Yes. And 93 potential for this closer. That's huge. The rest of the guys are like B potential. So Franklin, he's got B potential. Infante, B potential. Probably not going to use him at all. Same thing with Finley Britton. Probably not going to use him at all. Cardona, C potential's fine. Fletcher, C potential's fine. But look at those pitching stats. The control's low. What about the hitting stats? They look abysmal. But I finally found a decent two-way player. I'm forcing it. We're making him a two-way player 100%. We're going to make it happen. That's insane. 83 and 79. That's how we finished the year. We fell a little bit short. We were in the wild card, but like, not really. But you know what? I don't hate the season. We're definitely far out in the East, but the wild card 2 games short. That's really not that bad. The league leaders, the only one we had was Alcantara with innings pitched. And if we take a look around the league, you can kind of see some players are standing out. Is he a free agent this year? He is. He would solve that shortstop problem immediately. I also think Jeremy Pena is. He actually looks pretty good. Had a really good season too. Oh, he's got 2 more years of ARB. Why did I think he's a free agent this year? That's just bad on my part. That makes, yeah, that would have, the math wasn't mathing, so I don't know how. Yeah, that was done by me. I don't know why I thought he was a free agent. I even mentioned I thought he was a free agent this year. It's Bo Bichette, not Jeremy Pena. Yeah, Jeremy Pena would have had to been in the league when he was 21, which, yeah, that's not the math that I was mathing. Either way, you guys kind of, we know at least one player is a free agent, and that's Bo Bichette. Either way, let's go back to the awards. Let's see Ohtani. He's back on top of the MVP race. Soto did sign with the Pirates. I 100% could have signed him. I think in the last video I said I should start signing Juan Soto more. I think I said that. Either way, I felt like with our team, I wanted to give Jazz center field, which obviously Soto's not going to play center field. Jesus Sanchez, we had a good season this year, so like we'll talk about that. And also, I was trying to give Kierstead a chance, which it might not work out. So we'll get back to that in a second. But let's basically, if I'm signing Soto, I just don't want to block anybody. And I felt like I was going to be blocking somebody with Soto. Like I need like a giant glaring hole. That sounds weird, but you get what I'm saying? Like I really need that outfield position to be open to have Soto be signed to the team. He actually signed for a pretty cheap contract too, so I guess I could have done that. Judge won MVP on the other side. Brian Bayo won Cy Young along with Corbin Burns, who is now with the Braves. Okay. Acuna and Tucker with the batting title, and then Watts along with Paul Sewald. Relievers of the year, Nico Cavadas. Really, he is the rookie of the year along with Mark Risser, or I guess it'd be Riser. Oh, it could be Risser though. Looks decent for a prospect. It just, the numbers are a little iffy, especially when like, oh, Wyatt Langford didn't really have that good of a season either. Okay, so as a team, let's take a look really quickly where we ranked. Did we move up the ladder? Did I miss us? Did we actually move up like quite a bit? Oh, we were a top 4 team for batting average. I didn't even see that right off the rip. I was expecting us to be at the bottom. What about runs then? Were we just oh, okay, 16th for runs, which isn't bad, around the middle of the league there. And if we take a look really quickly at just ERA to get an idea, we were a 12th ranked team. That's pretty good. That's a huge jump up from where we were last year. So I'm assuming a couple things changed here. Contreras didn't pitch at all this year. Okay, that's good. I mean, look at that growth. That's pretty good. +6, couple +2s. I like that. Davey Garcia, a lot of +6s. I like that. And then looking at the rest, Ryan Weathers would be the other one. Had a really good season in terms of growth. No MLB time. I don't think anybody else got MLB time here. Like I know Sixto didn't. And then I don't think Max Meyer did either. But Smeltzer, like I said, he only pitched 40 innings last year. I wasn't really expecting him to come back and do similar things, but it's not a bad season. Do I bring him back? Probably as depth, but I don't know if he's our guy moving forward in this spot. Braxton Garrett really struggled this year. I don't think he's going to be growing too much more. He could be a trade piece. I think that's kind of what I'm looking at with him, or he's going to be a sixth man. My thing is, I'm looking at his per nines. They don't look bad. I just don't know like how much more we're going to see him improve. Chargois definitely kind of is regressing, but again, not a bad season. Trevor Rogers, better. I think this is the middle relief spot. I think that's his spot moving forward. We talked about Johnny Lasagna, had a good season. I just don't think I'll bring him back. Alcala was good. I like that a lot. Bender was also very good, not improving too much more, but I think we can get another season out of him. And then AJ Puck, how we looking? Yeah, that's what I like to see. 43 saves, perfect. Our starters with Alcantara was fantastic. I said that a little weird, I know, but really good season. Was he in the race for the Cy Young? Was he? He wasn't. Ohtani was for some reason, but because it goes by strikeouts, which, man, Alcantara had a great season. Luzardo, bounce back season like that too. Yuri Perez had a great year. Yusei Kikuchi, we traded at the deadline. Okay, not bad. And then Cabrera came in 100-ish innings, so like half a season, and yeah, just not really working out well. The ERA is just really high, and it's definitely the walks. The home runs are probably an issue too. 20 home runs is, let me see, compared to some of the, honestly, it's pretty comparable to what, I mean, yeah, it's pretty comparable to what the other guys did. It is a little bit high. Like Kikuchi had what, 60 more innings and had about the same amount of home runs, so it is a little high. That's definitely something we're gonna have to hope it fixes itself, but I don't know what to do with him. I want him to be good. I just don't know if he will. If we're looking at the team here, this guy has let me down so much. I was hoping he was going to be a reliable bat, and he's just not. So he might get moved to the bench. We might actually have like a DH or outfield spot available, but at the same time, we do have Bermudez, who looks like he's just going to be hitting at a crazy level. He's up to a 74 already. Moody also got called up. He's had crazy growth this season. Melendez got a little bit of MLB time. Honestly, off the bench, I don't think he would be a bad bat. So these two are going to have to fight it out. Jacob Berry got some time at AAA. And we also had Alderman. Potential went down. That's tough. Anybody else? I don't think so. I think that was it. Oh, Weeks. How we looking? Not terrible. If we look at our bench, though, Randall Grichuk was only facing lefties. I'm pretty happy with those numbers. Ahmed Rosario, again, pretty happy off the bench with him. Fortes faces lefties only. Not great from Nick Gordon. And then Bobby Delpech was actually kind of nice. He was actually pretty good. That's some good bat. That's a good bat to head off the bench. All right, that's what I'm looking for from Arraez. Good on base percentage, good average. Even the OPS at 800, love it. Willie Adames becomes a free agent. I would consider bringing him back on a very similar contract because the season was actually decent. I'm actually pretty happy with that. Jazz, bounce back here. Love to see it. Jake Berger, again, 30 plus home runs. Love to see it. Jesus Sanchez was decent. And I think he's one that can hold down the DH spot or a corner outfield spot. So I'm okay with him there. But he's definitely going to be a platoon guy because he doesn't hit lefties at all. So we got to keep that in mind. Kirilloff, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Only facing righties currently, but those are the numbers I'm kind of looking for. Diaz obviously regressing very heavily, but pretty bad season. And then Kierstead also had a pretty bad season. So I don't really know what to do with him moving forward. It's going to be a tough one. We might actually have a corner outfield spot available unless we just rock with Bermudez right off the rip, which we could do. We could put him in probably left because of his poor fielding and not a great arm, but he does have reaction and speed. So we could rock him in left, Sanchez in right, Chisholm in center, and then we could just look for a really good DH and a shortstop and a catcher. Pitching wise, I think we're pretty good. Off-season time though, we've been yapping for too long. Let's get into the off-season as the Dodgers defeat the Rays. And now I feel like we actually, I got an idea of what we can do with this team. So team option for Ahmed Rosario, I think I'm going to take it. 3 short of 4 mil, like just shy of 4 mil is a good bench bat. Yusei Kikuchi, I'm going to let him walk. And I think everybody else I'm going to let walk too. Adames, I'm considering. He's definitely high up on my list of just bringing him back for another year. I don't think it's a bad idea at all, especially when the other shortstop option is real. I like Tommy Edman. No, I can't do that. It's really Bo Bichette or Willie Adames. That's really what it comes down to, because second base, I'm not going to be rocking with Willie Castro at shortstop. He's let me down way too many times this year. I can't put him at shortstop. I've tried him like 2-3 times already this year, and he lets me down every time. But if he plays for the CPU, he's popping off. Also, what's our first base situation now? We do have Kirilloff. Do we go Vlad? Do we go Vlad and Bo this offseason and Kirilloff goes to DH? That would be a crazy offseason. I don't know if I can afford that though. I can. 100% I can. We've been really doing well with money. And then also outfield is set. And I don't really see a name. Like Kyle Tucker's cool and all, but I feel like Bo and Vlad would be a crazy offseason. Also, catcher's a little bit of an issue here because it's a little thin. And then pitchers, I think we're fine. I do need to make a splash, though. I feel like we 100% need a splash. I don't know who, though. All right. I'm looking for a catcher. And I found a team that has just a few that are close to MLB ready or MLB ready. And I was like, you know what? We're probably going to take them. I looked at shortstops. I looked at first base. I looked at a couple other positions that we could try to upgrade. I feel like if I'm making a trade, I really want it to be someone that I'm like, I want them in the team. And I just don't really feel the draw to any of the shortstops right now. I feel like Bobby Witt would be cool, but I feel like I'm gonna have to trade a lot to get Bobby Witt. Jeremy Pena is someone that he's hit or miss in franchise, and it looks like he's currently doing well, so that slightly interests me. Also, arbitration is nice to see, so I'm thinking, man, we could have him for the rebuild. He's 28 with a potential. He should grow more, but at the same time, like, the Astros don't really have a shortstop, so like, you know, kind of keeping it realistic, would they trade it? Even though this isn't a realistic rebuild at all. But CJ Abrams, I haven't seen him do well in franchise at all, which sucks because in real life he's doing really well to start the season, and last year he had a good year also. It's just in franchise he doesn't really do much. And I'm looking around, like Ellie De La Cruz is cool, O'Neal Cruz is cool, but again, I'm not really like, hey, I want this guy in my team. So I'm kind of thinking, I don't really know what to do. I guess bring back Adames or sign Bo Bichette. So instead, I'm going to focus on the catcher position, and the Athletics signed Danny Johnson, which is weird because they also have Shea Langeliers and they also have Tyler Soderstrom. So I'm going to acquire Tyler Soderstrom because he played 60 games last year and was good. The year before was decent too in the at-bats that he had. I like the attributes. They look pretty well-rounded. Can still play catcher. I looked to see how he was doing in real life, and he's played more games behind the plate than he has at first base, because I know there's been some talks of him potentially moving to first base. So it seems to be a catcher. And I've got some names that I'm willing to get rid of, like Sixto. I don't think it's gonna work out with Sixto. So I feel like let's give them what they're looking for in a starter. I'm also going to give them someone we recently drafted in David Fletcher. And to finish it off, I just threw in whoever I had in Kyler Castillo to get the deal done. So there it is. I got to sign Soderstrom to a deal now. But that's really about all I wanted to do. I like some of the names in free agency for some of the other positions I'm looking to fill up. So I think that's it. I feel like that's a decent trade for us. We get a young catcher with team control for the next up until 2029. Like we're golden at catcher now. He's our new starter, and we just start to fill out some of these other positions. This is my big question mark, and I just don't know what to do with it yet. So let's see what happens. Let's see how the offseason plays out, and we'll go from there. For season 3, we're still technically in spring training. I guess I could sim to the regular season and give you a peek at what we did this offseason. So pitching, I brought in Griffin Canning to kind of help with that long relief role. Still have Smeltzer, still have the few other guys in the farm system. It's just, I want some depth. I want guys that I can call up if needed, or just have other options if things go poorly. That's really it. So Rotation's still the same. It looks good, but again, Braxton Garrett could start to struggle. Edward Cabrera could start to struggle. That way we have Griffin Canning, we have Smeltzer, we have all the other young guys, including Thomas White. I signed Javier Assad. We've got Noble Meyer. We've got Max Meyer. So we've got some. I also have a couple guys on waivers. So the bullpen will fill out. Double A, I got to make sure Ramon Gonzalez is a two-way player. I got to make sure I put him in the DH spot. So a couple guys on waivers. So there's that. Offseason, I brought in Tim Meza as an extra lefty. And otherwise, the bullpen's the same. But let me show you really quickly. I brought in Yency Almonte. I know, but Weathers is on waivers. Davey Garcia is on waivers. Starters, we got Smeltzer on waivers, and we've got a couple others. So again, we have the depth. I feel good about this. Moving into the lineup, you can see no real changes on the bench. Brian De La Cruz gets moved there, but Bo Bichetson and Vlad Jr. I felt like they were the two biggest hitters in the pool, the free agent pool. I thought, you know what? This would really take our team up to the next level. Super cheap contracts too. 17 mil and I think 25. Yeah, 25. So it does bring up our budget a little bit. I know, but looking at the team, this looks good. This looks good. We have depth. I got plenty of prospects as well. We brought back Nick Gordon, brought in Michael Tolia, Oscar Colas. We've got plenty of like actual depth for once. I feel like no matter what happens, I have players to turn to, which is good. That's what I want. And we still have 20 mil in the budget. Next year, we have a little bit more money on the books, but as you can see, I've done a couple extensions, including Luzardo. I accidentally made this one front loaded instead of back loaded, so that actually kind of hurts us a little bit. But Jazz Chisholm also got a new contract extension. I signed him basically for the rest of the rebuild, back loaded this one, so we had a little bit more money to play with. And AJ Puck, he only wanted 4 mil, so I was like, I'm gonna take that while I have the opportunity. So Luzardo, Jazz, and Puck, those were the 3 extensions I gave. Still have that contract option for the last season for a rise, which won't matter. Yeah, it will matter. That'll be season 5. Alcantara becomes a free agent in season 5. We'll have to see what we want to do there. But we're actually managing money well. We've got a decently young lineup too. So I feel like we really don't have much more to do. We just got to make sure everybody develops well. We've got Bermudez who can come in, help us out in left or right, depending on how things play out. Moody's there. If need be, he can hop in at second. He can hop in at third. If we really need him to, we can put him at the DH spot. Jacob Berry also could be a solid piece. We've got Ramon Gonzalez. I really hope he develops quickly. I just want to have him in the team at some point. So we'll see how that plays out. But otherwise, that's season 3's team. I feel like we're doing really well. I don't know if I'll show you the draft just because unless I get like a crazy generational talent, I don't know if they'll even make the team. So we'll see what happens. We finished 162, which I believe is like the opposite of the record that we had at the very first season. We won the division, and I want to check that now. It is. So within 2 seasons, we've completely flipped our record, and I'm liking what I'm seeing with this team. This is crazy. Alcantara was unbelievable, so there's that, right? Soto and Tucker being in our league is a little bit of an issue, but I feel like we're really doing well with the team. Like I feel like, and by I say league, I mean like the National League. I did keep an eye on our two-way player. I don't know if it's gonna work out, but I'm actually liking what I'm seeing with the team. You know, first in batting average, like people were popping off. There were a couple players that really let me down though, so we're gonna have to talk about that. But 8th for runs, which is huge. I'm just kind of interested where we are home runs wise, because I don't think we have a lot of home run hitters. We're 15th, so kind of right in the middle. And if we take a look at ERA really quickly, we were the best pitching team ERA wise. So basically on paper, we do have an award. I'm assuming it's Cy Young. It is. Austin Riley won MVP along with Jordan. We have Luis Castillo winning it on the AL side. Alcantara winning the Cy Young on the NL side, beating out Blake Snell, who left the Giants and signed back with the Padres. Okay. Batting title went to Kyle Tucker and Jordan. Andres Munoz, reliever of the year, beating Andrew Wantz. So, man, he was in the race again. Jojo Romero won it this year, and James Wood is the rookie of the year along with Jacob Gonzalez. Okay. Let's talk about this team. This is not how I had the squad, so let me adjust that real quick. All right, we're going with a lefty-heavy bullpen. So Devin Smeltzer came up for Griffin Canning. Griffin Canning was garbage. He was so bad. He had a 5 ERA. Just really didn't do anything. David Garcia, small sample size, got roughed up pretty badly, so that's tough because like he's developing nicely. It's just it might not work out. It might not work out. Tim Meza was also decent for us, but I decided to go with Ryan Weathers just because we'll see how it goes. I don't even know if Ryan Weathers really got that much time or even opportunity to pitch. Trevor Rogers has been fantastic, so love to see that. Roansy Contreras had like a 6 ERA, so for him to drop it down to this is better. Again, you know, the attributes aren't that great, but I still have faith. You know, we'll develop him. Ryan Weathers got 5 innings. There you go. Alcala, unbelievable season from him. Love to see that. Bender is starting to regress a little bit, but again, fantastic season from him. Love that. And then AJ Puck was good. Basically the same as last year. Like, can't complain about that. Alcantara, Cy Young winner, which is awesome to see. You've got Luzardo, recent contract extension, gave us a really good season. Really like this 1-2 punch we've got, plus Yuri Perez in the 3. I mean, 1-2-3 is just a crazy 3-headed monster we have. Braxton Garrett was great. He's even slightly improved on the season, so I like that. And then Edward Cabrera improved as well. So this 1 through 5, honestly, is really strong. I'm liking what the team's looking like. If we talk about the prospects, they're getting there. They're getting there, right? Like these 3, they're coming pretty close. And then this guy, he's up to 79 already. Like pitching wise, he looks really good. The control sucks and the clutch sucks. And then hitting stats, this is kind of what happened this year. I don't know if he'll ever be like a good two-way player, but at least we have the pitching where he looks unbelievable. Definitely should be in AAA and is giving these other guys a run for their money. Lineup wise, you can see Moody's potential went up. He was crushing it in AAA this season, crushing it. And you can see he had a good growth season, just -1 in contact for some reason. Nick Gordon had a good year and potential went up, so there's that. I'm glad I re-signed him because we'll just keep him around for that purpose. Jacob Berry, slightly improving hitting wise, but I was kind of hoping for a little bit better. And I forgot to mention I signed this guy, Oscar Colas. I don't know if I'll ever use him. Heston Kierstead. I think this is just gonna be a failed experiment. It sucks because man, he's crushing it in real life, and I was kind of hoping maybe we would have gotten like a sneaky little pickup here. Just not really working out. So he's probably a late bloomer. Probably by the time he's 30, he's probably unbelievable. I just don't have until we're 30, so we got to start moving a little quicker. Ricky Weeks is up to 66, and Franklin here, not bad. Other than that, if we take a look at our actual lineup, Bobby Dahlbeck, not as good as he was last year. Similar like production, but just the rest of the numbers kind of went down. Ahmed Rosario, pretty similar to what he did last year as well, so pretty happy with that. Fortes was way better this season. Did have less at bats, but was better. Brian De La Cruz sucked, so I don't even know if it's really worth bringing him back. Like, you'd think the numbers would be better with those attributes, but I guess not. Melendez really didn't get an opportunity. And now the pitchers. If we take a look at our actual starters, Arise was still good. A little bit worse than last year, but was still very good. And for 10 mil, I'm happy keeping him around. Bo Bichette was fantastic. The power numbers went down a little bit, but was still solid. Jarrett got called up. He did. And look at those numbers. I mean, that's a pretty good season for, I think, like half a year around the trade deadline. He got called up. Vladdy, how we looking? 42 home runs, over a 1 OPS. Love that. Kirilov. Ooh. Okay. A 400 on base percentage. Give me more of that. Jake Berger's even getting that average up, which is crazy to think about. Not 30 home runs, but when he's hitting 275, the on base percentage is over 300. I'm okay with that. 29 home runs. Jesus Sanchez is looking like he's cool with this like platoon, maybe off the bench role. If he can hover around this mark, I'm okay with it. Soderstrom, good season, 16 home runs, 17 doubles, 283 average, 800 OPS. Give me more of that from the catcher spot. But this guy right here, is this guy about to steal my money and run with it? Because this production was bad. And it sucks because, man, this season right here, I was all in. I'm like, Jazz is that center fielder. He's our guy. And then it gives me this. Or maybe he's, maybe next year he comes back and gives us a crazy season and he's an every other year guy. If you look at the home runs and the doubles, they look similar. The walks are the same. It's just he struck out a lot more and just wasn't getting hit. So Don't like that. Don't like that. But overall, I'm liking the team. I mean, we won 100 games. We're a good squad. Let's see how we do in the postseason facing the Padres. Matt Waldron, the knuckleballer, is starting game 1, and we lose. Severino, we have to beat. We have to beat. Okay. We just get swept. Are the Padres like crazy? What happened? What just happened? They're good, but like Matt Waldron's dotting us up in the postseason. We can't lose like that. We can't get swept. All right, on to season 4. I guess we got to do some crazy things as the Astros win the World Series. Let's go take a peek and see who has been the MVP. Zach McKinstry, Mookie Betts the year before, and Jordan the year prior. The postseason MVPs currently look like that, and for the AL side, like that. Man, that's a tough look. I saw retired, but I meant swept. Our hitting coach retired, I think that was said. So either way, that's a tough situation. So I definitely want to keep him in the bullpen. I don't know for how long though, but like $4 million's not bad. Looking at Alcala, he probably can. Maybe we'll do a little 2 years again. $8 million. We'll make it a little club option. Not bad. Those two can go. Rosario, like low key, not a bad bench bat. How much is he? Is he still cool with like 6? Okay, I'll think about that. Money wise, 70 mil is not a lot. So like I said, we spent a little more than we should have, but extending those contracts and everything, we should be fine budget wise. I think really the only issue is going to be Alcantara, because like looking at the rest of the team, I feel like we're going to be able to tender contracts and do arbitration. So where do we try to improve this team? Maybe another hitter, because like Jarrett's good there, first, DH, third. I feel like that's a good offense. I feel like we're fine. I don't. What went wrong? We just didn't score more than the Padres. I feel like. Oh, let me take a peek. 3-4. That's a close game. 1-3. I guess we could have scored more there, and we allowed a few. I just feel like we just didn't play well enough. So I don't think we're a bad team. Maybe the bullpen. Maybe see if we can find some money to upgrade this bullpen. I think that might be the difference maker. The bullpen. I think that's what let us down. So let's get to season 4. Let's upgrade this bullpen. Season 4, I'm getting Spencer Steer. Not necessarily the player I was, sold on getting, but I'm looking at outfielders and I'm in a little bit of a budget crunch. So I need to be smart with my pickups. So Spencer Steer, the Kierstead era is over. It didn't work out. I guess I could trade somebody else that's probably making a little bit more money. Someone like a Melendez or a De La Cruz, who does become a free agent at the end of the year. So maybe we keep Kierstead, and they don't want De La Cruz. So I'm going to have to give up somebody else to make this possible. So who is that going to be? Oh, I'm going to have to give up a couple different players to make this possible. Ooh, let's see. How are we going to do this then? We are going to throw in... Do we throw in the guy that the CPU drafted for us last season? Because I didn't do the draft last year. I didn't really like any of the prospects that were available during our pick. Ooh, they want Osiris Johnson. They can have Osiris Johnson, and then I will throw in Schneider, and that's the deal. All right, so the trade's over, and we're gonna rock something like this. Steer hops in. I think this makes the lineup a little bit better. Jacob Berry's called up. Bench is basically the same. I'm gonna let Moody, Ramon Gonzalez, and a few others just kind of work their way through the team, get better. This is gonna be a third baseman, so Vidal Brujan, who just hasn't been able to crack the team because he's not that good. But you can see AAA looks decent. MLB roster looks really good. And then pitching rotation, I did go out and get some bullpen help. I got Karinchak and Holmes. For some reason, they're already regressing, so that's not good. Both of them 1-year deals, though. Both of them like $4 million, so we're solid. Plenty of pitchers in the farm system. Don't worry about these 30 overalls. They're probably going to get sent down to AA. But we've got Meyer, who needs to come over here. Or let's go like that. And then I'll clean this up, get rid of a couple guys. But we're looking good. We've got some really good pitching depth in the rotation who could also help us out in the bullpen. I brought in Santillan as another reliever to have. And then we've got James Floyd, who was season 1 or season 2's draft. I can't remember now, but the team's looking good. We still have Davey Garcia too. We've got depth. I'm feeling good about it. We're ranked number 1. The defense and speed sucks, but I think we're good enough now to finally make a good playoff push. All right, deadline time. I'm getting a reliever that I feel like I could probably trade somebody that I don't need, but everyone's pitching well, so let's keep it as is. But I'm getting Class A. He's got one more season on, or one more year on his contract, and then I'm picking up an extra relieving prospect. And you're probably thinking, why are you trading Jake Berger? He's regressing. And I've seen Jake Berger, when he regresses, he regresses. So I'm gonna cash out while I can. And he's been good with the team. We've got other players that can play the third base position. That's the move. But with Jake Berger getting moved, Reggie Moody's been called up. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna call up Reggie Moody. He's getting the start in both lefty and righty lineups. I'm feeling good about that. Everything else is looking good. I do need to do one thing. He needs to come back. Backload, boom. I think that's it. I think that's the only player I have to worry about leaving us this year. That like Karinchak can go, Sanchez. I feel like I feel like okay. There's a couple we gotta keep our eye on. And money's gonna be tight once again. But we'll be smart with it. We might have to let Arraez go, though. Maybe we decline it, see if he'll take a cheaper contract. Big brain thinking. But I like the team still. You can see we're in first. We're doing really well. Let's finish off the season. So we won the division again, 93-69. So again, a pretty good season. I feel like, rest of the league, the Dodgers were slightly better. Way better. Giants were slightly better. And the Rays were a little bit better. Twins were about the same. So we're up there with one of the better teams in baseball. Our defense jumped up quite a bit. Our speed went down though. And our power, I feel like, kind of stayed around the same. But like looking at the team ERA, I can tell the fielding is definitely an issue when everybody's around the 990s and we're sitting around 986. So that can't be good. That's definitely hurting us. But let me see it. Oh, okay, yeah. Our fielding's pretty bad. That could also be an issue that I've been overlooking, and I always overlook it, but you know what? I think I'm okay with it. League leaders, Alcantara once again, just really good. And if we take a look at team rankings, we were best batting average. Runs, we were third this time. That's way better. And home runs, did we creep up the ladder a little bit? Top 10, I like that. What about pitching? We were we dropped a little bit. 6th, still pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. I've already noticed that the lineup's all messed up, so let me adjust that. All right, pitching, long relief was a little bit of an issue. I don't think it will be for the final season because of these two. Honestly, I don't know how I'm going to get them. I mean, even Thomas White, like, I don't know how I'm going to get all of them into the rotation. There's so many. And also Trevor Rogers was bad this year, so there's that. And I think that was really about it. We do have a couple decent relievers though, so I like that. Max Meyer, 50 innings, was okay. Just hasn't really developed well, so I think we go with, Noble Meyer, Thomas White, or Ramon Gonzalez. So that's probably what I'm thinking. Ryan Weathers has been fantastic this season. Love to see that. Bender's starting to regress, so I think that's when we start to look for a different righty to step into the bullpen, but he's been really good for us. Clay Holmes was good on a 1-year deal, was lights out. I didn't even look at awards. Let's finish the pitching, then we'll go to the awards. AJ Puck was really good. Took him out of the closer role because there was a point where he was like slightly regressing, but it looks like he kind of picked it up. So that's good. Karinchak was solid. And then Class A came in perfect. Love it. If we take a look at our starters, they're going to be great. I loved what I had going on here. Alcantara was crazy good. Luzardo, little regression in terms of the ERA and the whip, but things were solid. He allowed a lot of hits. That was the problem for sure. Yuri Perez was great. Braxton Garrett's been fantastic the last 2 seasons. And then this is where I don't know what to do. Is he the long reliever now? Because like he's striking out people, but he's walking people. And he's allowing a few hits. So it's kind of tough. I don't really know what to, maybe a 4-man rotation for the postseason, and we go like that. Let's go take a look at the awards. Shohei, MVP, what a surprise. Yordan, MVP, what a surprise. Cy Young, Shane McClanahan, and Shohei. Wow, Sandy wasn't even in the conversation. That is crazy. Okay, batting title went to Altuve and Shohei. Crochet with the Rockies won reliever of the year, and Alzolay won reliever of the year for the Blue Jays. Rookie of the year goes to Darryl Saxon. Pitcher had a pretty good season. 4 ERA, 1.3 whip. Not bad, not bad. And on the other side, AJ Smith-Shawver of the Braves also had a fantastic season by the looks of it. 200 innings pitched. Looks pretty solid. So if we take a look at our team now, we've talked about the pitching, right? I mean, like, look at how good Gonzalez is. He's 83 overall. Like, look at those pitching stats. I'm a little worried about the clutch and the control. But other than that, he's been unbelievable. Hitting stats are a little iffy. He did go up a little bit, but they're definitely not good enough to be a two-way player. So he's one that, like, I would still try to stick it out and see what would happen just for the fun of it. But I feel like we've got some pretty good pitchers here. I just don't know what to do with them. I can't have like a 9-man rotation, obviously. Jacob Berry was a bench guy. Kind of tough to judge him on that. Jesus Sanchez, though, I like those numbers a lot. Does become a free agent. It's going to be really interesting to see how much money he wants. He's been good, and I feel like he's definitely that guy that can come off the bench and provide us with something for sure. He was bad. He was the usual, and Melendez was pretty good, actually. He was pretty solid off the bench. If we take a look at our actual starters, that's not what I'm looking for from Arias, which worries me. I can't pay him the 10 mil. That's just really where I'm at with him. We've got Bichette, who was good, but it looks like maybe he started to hit his max level, which I'm cool with that. 34 home runs. I'm fine with that. Kirilloff continues to improve with a 412 on base percentage. This might be my new go-to first baseman. Vladdy killed it. Unbelievable season. Spencer Steer, I don't know why it took me off the MLB stats. That's tough. That's tough to see. We traded for him and he decides to not hit the baseball. So unfortunate. Jazz, better. Where was that last year? So next year in our final season, we're going to have a bad season, aren't we? It looks like it's going to be that way. Average is low, but the on-base percentage at almost 370 is really nice to see. So let's see how he picks it up next year. I mean, look at the hitting stats. They look great. Tyler Soderstrom continues to get on base, have a decent average. I'm happy with that. His attributes look really good as well. And then, I mean, this guy's an on-base machine. 15 home runs this year too, 30 doubles, 23 stolen bases, only caught once. What are the hitting stats looking like? Ooh, yeah. I like that. And that's the team. Let's see how we do in the postseason. We are playing the Pirates, who do have Juan Soto. They do have Juan Soto. And it doesn't matter. Okay. Whew. I was going to say we're in trouble. Luzardo versus the Giants. We win the first. We lose the second, which is tough. And the third. All right. Keeps us alive. Still going. Please, Braxton Garrett. Oh, boy. Braxton Garrett's getting shelled, huh? Against Luis Garcia. And we get eliminated. Let's go take a look at what the Giants are looking like. Because I know they've made a few moves. But, yeah. Kyle Tucker was one. Teoscar. Willie Dom. Yeah, it's a good team. It's a good team. Yeah, of course he does well. Of course he does well. Yeah, I mean, it's a good team. It's a good team for sure. Man, we fell a little short, huh? Fell a little bit short. Just fell a little bit short. Looking at the scores, 4-7. We got to do better. Oh, did the bullpen blow it? Oh, the 8th and 9th. Okay. All right. And then we lost 3-5, 5-1. That's a tough game. That's a tough game to lose. It's a tough game to lose. Let's go to the offseason. The Rays end up winning anyways. So final season, I don't really know who to target. Maybe some more bullpen. Maybe some more offense. I feel like this team is so good though. Why are we falling short? Maybe not enough like just star power. Maybe we need something like that. I guess that's what we got to find. Alrighty, offseason time. This trade gets me Nolan Gorman. That's who I want. I need the power in the lineup. He's going up in ratings, still 27. The contract could be an issue because he does become a free agent, but we need a little bit of pop in the lineup. I don't know if he's going to be second or third, but he's definitely in our lineup now. So I'm liking this move. This is probably the only trade I'm super light on budget. I don't have a lot of money at all. So I might have to start making more trades actually to open up some more because it's a tight squeeze. Final season, we got to figure out this team. I mean, it looks good. Contact, power, pitching, defense still sucks. I don't think that's why we're losing games though, because I mean, this is a good team. Look at that pitching staff. I know you guys are calling out for Noblemeyer and Thomas White. They're definitely good enough. It's just when you have a pitching staff like this, where do they get in? Do I like move Braxton Garrett over here and then we put like one of the other two in the man, because like I'm looking at it, they both are good. So essentially, like Edward Cabrera, Braxton Garrett, Ramon Gonzalez, all fighting for a spot because those two are next up in line, 100%. Like I'm not gonna just wait around. If things are going bad, I'm definitely gonna turn to one of them. Bullpen looks like this. I got Sandlin in on a pretty decent contract, 5.5 mil, Santiago Puck, and Class A. So the bullpen definitely changed up a lot. I was super tight on money. I really overestimated how big of the contract extensions I gave were. So we've really got to, I mean, I might even have to turn to like some of these guys for bullpen help. I've got a few guys on waivers. As you can see, we're probably going to have to sign a couple people, even though I don't think I have the money to do it. That could be a problem. Lineup wise, the only addition was Gorman. I told you I have no money. Arise wouldn't sign. I had the 10 million option. I declined it, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna sign you for cheaper. He wanted more than 10 mil, and I was like, he's regressing. Let's move on. Jesus Sanchez wanted over 10 mil. I said no. So this is what we're gonna rock with. The bench: Kierstead and Melendez. Hopefully they can hold it down in the outfield. Nick Gordon, Jacob Berry. I need you guys to do well. If not, I don't really know who we turn to because we really don't have anybody in the farm system anymore. We've kind of called up everybody that we've got. So we're gonna rock with this. Oh, we do have that first baseman. This guy who actually looks like he can hit very well. So if need be, he's there. And I do have a couple others, but it's not like they're crazy good. The CPU drafted us this guy, not gonna be ready. And then the CPU also drafted us this guy in season 4 or season 3. I don't. Oh, it's season 3. And then this was season 4's draft. Nope, this was season 4's draft. So really no offensive pieces to look forward to this season. It's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out. I like the team. I feel like we should win something. I need Moody to do well. The heart of the, like, basically 2 through 5 I'm good with. Jazz, it's a toss up. He can either do really well or really bad. Steer, I need a bounce back season. Soderstrom's solid. Bermudez should be solid. I just need some big seasons. I need some big seasons. I need the pitching to hold it down, and we should win a World Series, hopefully. 104-58. We were good. We were very good. The offense was unbelievable. I'll show you league leaders. Braxton Garrett had the most WAR, which is surprising. But Vladdy, are you serious? Triples for Bermudez also, so that's good. And then if we take a look at the team rankings, batting average by a lot, right? Runs by a lot. Hits by a lot. We've got home runs. We were second by 1. And if we take a look at the team ERA, I'm assuming it's a little skewed just because of some guys getting called up and sent down. But we were 8th, which is good. Very good. So I'm going to adjust the roster, and then we'll finish the awards and what our team was looking like before we hit this postseason run. Because the Dodgers and the Braves, I really don't want to face them. Awards wise, it looks like we have at least one as an MVP, 54 home runs for Vladdy. Talk about a huge pickup for us. 200 hits, 316 average, a 1019 OPS. Love it. On the other side, it was Gunnar Henderson, George Kirby, and Dustin May. Oh, the Pirates got some names now. Yuri Perez finished second in the Cy Young race. Tatis and Casas were the batting title winners. Jojo Romero and Roberto Soto. Looks really good. Holy cow. Only 2 blown saves for him for the Nationals. And Clifford Castro, the guy from season 1, rookie of the year, 4.11 ERA. Okay. So Kobe Mayo and Lazaro Montes. Dude's gonna be a beast. This guy is like baby Jordan for the Mariners. He's crazy. He's like 6'7". He's not 6'3". He's like 6'7". I think he's like 18 or 19 right now. He's insane. And who is the NL winner? Robert Gasser of the Brewers beating out Ramon Gonzalez somehow, just probably because he has more strikeouts. But all right, so my bullpen was a mess. Everybody was bad. It's crazy. We had AJ Puck started regressing heavily, so there was that. Trevor Rogers was so bad, and I literally just had to start. Edward Cabrera, man, just couldn't figure it out. It sucks. He's a 91 overall, and just can't figure it out. So basically what happened was I totally forgot about Rick Rudolph. Either way, so this is basically what I was doing. I was literally just throwing whoever was pitching well. So Noblemeyer got some time. You can see he had a save or 2. He got a couple holds. He was okay. Not great. Not great, right? Thomas White, though. Okay, I see you. I see you. Ryan Weathers struggled. Like I told you, our bullpen was hit or miss. Nick Sandlin was good, though, so I'll take that for the most part. Davey Garcia hasn't pitched at all. Tony Santillan was good. Not bad. I definitely need to look a little bit more at like the fielding independent pitching, just to kind of get a better idea of how they're actually performing. Because if his ERA was what? 4.4 and his FIPS at a 3.1, maybe the defense really is playing a part in how some of our pitchers are performing. So for someone like Ryan Weathers, his FIPS at a 6.78, so he's somehow slightly better than what his, so maybe he's just a bad pitcher and he's getting a little lucky, you know what I mean? So there's certain guys who are doing well and certain guys who aren't, and maybe the fielding isn't really helping him out. And Class A did about the same as last year, so I'm happy with that. Next up, we take a look at our starters. Alcantara once again was very good. Same thing with Luzardo. Our starting pitching was fantastic. Easily has to be the best in baseball. I mean, look at everybody. Braxton Garrett. I was worried about Braxton Garrett, and he held it down. And then look at Gonzalez, man. He's so good. He's insane. Did his hitting stats? He didn't even hit. He didn't even hit this year. His hitting stats went up. So I feel like I gotta kind of maybe go like that for the postseason. But like, man, Braxton Garrett was good too. So I don't really know. And offensively, Jacob Berry was up and down. You can see he only played 37 games. So I kind of moved some pieces around. And he just wasn't really hitting well. So there's that. Nick Fortes, backup catcher. Heston Kierstead, 100 at bats, wasn't great. Melendez, though, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. If we take a look at Moody, for some reason the CPU sent him down. But that's a good season. I'm liking that from our third baseman, technically. Bo Bichette is regressing a little bit, but he still had a fantastic season. Really good season. Kirilloff continues to hit around a 400 on base percentage, or have around a 400 on base percentage. Vladdy, we saw MVP. Nolan Gorman, 33 home runs. I'm happy with that. 936 OPS. Jazz. Yeah, give me that. That is huge for us. We needed that. Spencer Steer, did I say plus 13? Ooh. He had a great season too. I feel like everybody had a great season. Look at these numbers. Everybody was hitting well, getting on base, hit for some power. I mean, look at Bermudez. He's insane too. Holy cow, this is the team. I'm feeling it. Who are we playing? We're playing the Dodgers. So the Dodgers, please tell me they're bad now. Can they be bad? They're not going to be bad. They're not. They're just always sneaky good. Like that 1 through like 5 is good. Lane Thomas, usually pretty good too. But let me see the pitching. Yamamoto, Bobby Miller, Glasnow. Yeah, this is what's going to be the issue. I feel like we're definitely better offensively, but can we get to their pitching? All right, here we go. That's a good start. That's a huge start. And we win the second game, the same exact score line. Can Luzardo close it out against Shohei? They scored 2 runs the entire time. We scored 23. Quick maths. Next up, the Giants. All right, they do have Kyle Tucker. We know about that. Brandon Marsh. Okay. Ozzy. Oh, bottom of their lineup too. How was Adames? I mean, he was pretty good. Maybe we should have kept him. But we did get Bo Bichette, so there's that. Pitching wise, Webb, Harrison. I mean, that's a good pitching staff. Dang, that's good. All right, so who's pitching for us? Braxton Garrett. Can we do that? Or no, we had such a long time off. So Alcantara, Yuri Perez, Luzardo, Braxton Garrett, Gonzalez. I know we maybe should run a 4-man rotation, but we've got an extra arm in the bullpen for this reason. We need to beat them. I need a World Series. All right, Alcantara, Webb. That's a good pitching matchup. It ends 4-3. That's a tough loss. Nothing the next game. 8-3, a loss. How does the rookie fare? He gets the 4-1 victory. Alcantara, can you do a solid once again? We do 6-1. We're taking on the Mariners. Okay, I like this matchup for sure. The Mariners, Feldon Celestine. Okay, I know about Feldon. He's another high prospect for the Mariners. They've got J-Rod, Santander, Montes. Offensively, we're definitely better. But again, the Mariners have some really good pitching. So the bullpen looks great. They've got this guy. He looks insane. As I say, 99 hits per night, 99 Ks per night. He pitched 48 innings, struck out 66 batters. That's pretty good. Yeah, this is a good pitching team. We're gonna have to break through this pitching. We're gonna have to break through the pitching. We've got Yuri Perez day 1. So I think oh man, our pitching's been crazy good, man. I think just because Braxton struggled, we'll make him our 5. But everybody else, I mean, like, Ramon was good. Jesus was good. Sandy, Yuri, everybody's been fantastic. And we should be good to go now. Offensively, how have we been? Because we might need to move some things around a little bit. Oh boy, the offense has been cooking besides Spencer Steer. That's the only guy that has been struggling. That's it. So it comes down to this. Yuri Perez, day 1, he gets the win 6-0. Alcantara wins it 9-3. The next game, Luzardo makes it a 3-0. And Ramon Gonzalez, you know what? Let's just do it. A sweep. They scored their, what was that? How many runs did they score? 4. Okay, 9 plus 7, 16. That's a lot of runs to give up. But I mean, hey, we scored more. And I mean, the pitching, what an outcome. Look at the offense too. 393 for Bo Bichette. Kirilloff a little quiet, but Vladdy, we've got Gorman. Jazz popped off a little bit with 10 RBIs. Look at Spencer. Okay, Spencer Steer woke up. Soderstrom was unbelievable. Holy cow. And Bermudez, 273. He's not a power guy. We just need him to get on base. And then this part. I mean, look at the pitching. Are we serious? That is a crazy good pitching staff. That he pitched 1 inning, probably allowed a couple runs. That's fine. The bullpen held it down. The starters held it down. That was a crazy good team that we just assembled for the Marlins. And to finish it off, talk about a guy who turned it around for the MVP in the World Series. Spencer Steer, who hit 473 in the World Series. He was hitting like, what, 235 prior to it? So crazy good outcome for us. And if we take a look at the postseason MVP, it was Austin Hayes for the Mariners, and it was Vladdy for us, who had 19 RBIs and 6 home runs. Love it. That's the Mariners Marlins rebuild. I hope you enjoy it. Thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and enjoyed the content. We're getting there. We're almost at 100K. And in the comment section, let me know what video we should do next. If you're looking for another rebuild, you should check out this Rockies one that's on screen now. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.